only goes to the toilet, this big thick one. So I'm gonna switch over. So the problem is, and you won't be able to comment for reasons, the toilet I'm seeing that we had a guy come in that only charged us $25 an hour. Go fix basically our bathroom up, did a patchwork. So we had to get so it is leaking right from there, right where the toilet is, and the shower thing's right there, I believe. So we had to replace this part of the ceiling, and it's doing that. So I am also trying to raise some money with the GoFundMe to hopefully get, I think what Google Lens said it could most likely be the wax ring, but we have to have them double check. So yeah, if I could get a plumber in here, like, I want to say real fast. So I don't know how much money it would really take, but I figure it doesn't hurt. I know other YouTubers have done that for, like, travel and that. So there's our 1-year-old toilet. So, and then there's our sink that we got for last year. So I'm gonna go in here a bit. But yeah, it would have to so I don't know. And then the one guy we had do our ceiling charged, I think, $40 an hour. Part of our ceiling, I should say, because I think, like the one said, and that's what I'm kind of fearing too, is State Farm covered that water damage that time around. So I am looking at trying to get that all fixed, hopefully, if we can get the money. Like I said again, I don't know how much it would cost, because this time around they could want us to replace that whole dining room ceiling. The stuff that we used, drywall we used for the ceiling was supposed to be mold resistant, water resistant. So it took us by surprise when it was leaking again after a year after all the repairs. So now we're like saying, yeah, we should have had the plumber double check this handy guy that charged only $25 an hour's work to see if he installed the toilet correctly. Another thing we're kind of learning is we should have probably used a real expensive wax ring. And I don't know if you reused the wax ring from the toilet that got broken. that we bought previously last year. So I don't know. So we had Brolin Blue here first that fixed the sink leak. And that was when we had the old sink before we took it out and everything. Then we had Wascala here, and they replaced the drain pipe and put a plastic one in for the shower. So, like I know this was hard to explain in the GoFundMe, but it's like I don't know how much it'll cost. I'm hoping it'll just be the wax ring. You know, I don't want to have to redo that whole ceiling, but like I read online, we had to get dehumidifiers with all this, just to cover it all. I am gonna also at the same time sign up with housing to try to get, you know, whatever I can to help us get a plumber here fast. So, I'm gonna say we need to get this all done by winter. Cause yeah, I'm really hoping we don't have to redo that whole ceiling. You know. So that's the other thing. Cause I think like last year they were talking like. I think like the one that used to be a realtor said that we should have redone the whole ceiling, take the funny plaster down, get it down to the bare, and get any mold out of there. Well, if they had to redo that whole ceiling, they're not gonna want us to sleep here either, because they'll fear that mold would get in our lungs and all that. So if that had to happen, we'd have to move everything out of the dining room. Yeah, and then we would have to sleep until all the repairs are done, like in a hotel or motel. That's another thing. But I'm just hoping that if we, and it all depends, because I'm not sure how everything would be. The plumber would have to turn the water off and on the toilet, basically. They would have to uninstall the toilet, take it off the floor, and like I said, hopefully it's just the wax ring, because that is what Google Lens was telling me when I was explaining the symptoms, and it was just saying possibly just the wax ring. So, yeah. And that's the big unknown. I think when we had State Farm up here last year, I think they quoted that at $7,000, and they're wanting us to pay a deductible. And nowadays it's such hard times. I mean, if we could get that leak fixed, hopefully it's just something real small. I'm hoping that's all we need to do is a patchwork, but then there you go again. You would need a contractor to go also look at that ceiling. Like I said, I don't know. So, whatever little help is grateful. I mean, just to get that all, that leak fixed permanently this time. So we don't have to do this. And another case scenario is this time around, since we did redone it last year, the plumber contractor could say, I think it's time that you redo the whole shower, put in a whole new shower, and redo the rest of the floor in that bathroom. Okay. So, and they'll say we'll want it redone our way this time. Too. We again don't know. I don't know. So, like I said, I'm gonna see what I can do. But the last time this happened, I think my husband had a real bad anxiety attack and had to go to the hospital, so I don't want him having a real bad anxiety attack. Especially with his injury from work. That would add on to it real bad, so yeah.